And it's not a good sign when somebody has to ask you, as Greta Van Susteren asked Bibi Netanyahu in his secondary hit regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. It's not a good sign if somebody even has to ask if you did have anything to do with the assassination. Doesn't.
Young men, just like the one who took his life. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Grace and peace, everybody. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. You know what we're going to do. We're going to do Tale of Two Women. We're going to look at how Candace handled the build-up to Sunday's memorial and how Erika actually, I believe, capped it off with a beautiful, beautiful story. So let's go.
I obviously have had a lot of tips. I've had a lot of conversations with people that knew both of these individuals. When I say both, I'm referring to Tyler Robinson, who is being indicted, but also his boyfriend, who has not been indicted. And the conversation that I am having is that Tyler's classmates and the neighborhood are very shocked that Tyler would be, first and foremost, involved in this at all. So right away, they told me, no way this guy is wearing the same outfit from 33 hours ago, because he was very tidy. He sort of kept to himself, but he worked with his hands and he was kind of a good person. There were no signs here. Like this appears to them to be like, this is a very good family, and that there were certain narratives out there that didn't make sense to them. Like they could not compute them as it pertained to Tyler Robinson. Okay. What do you guys think about that? What I just said to you? I think these are two different people. And I'm further believing that because I think it's weird that they won't even release the footage, this grainy footage of the guy walking up the stairs. Why do we have one static image of that? Does that make any sense to you? Why are they all static images? Release the video. When I had first looked at this video and then they said it was, I was like, that doesn't look like the same person, like ish, but like, no. And that feels intentionally grainy. You could release clearer footage. You know you can release clearer footage. So do it, because we're not going to let it go. I now believe there is a federal level of corruption and conspiracy involved in this murder, okay? From George Zinn to Lance Twiggs, the unanswered questions were like, what was he doing at home? What does he do for a living? Did they see each other that night? Why are we doctoring their messages? Why can't I read Lance's messages? If he's being so forthcoming, why can't I read how he replied and at what time these messages were? And it's not a good sign when somebody has to ask you, as Greta Van Susteren asked Bibi Netanyahu in his secondary hit regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. It's not a good sign if somebody even has to ask if you did have anything to do with the assassination. It doesn't make you a great person, okay? And that's what she asked him. Take a listen.
Before I let you go, I want you to address one thing, and it's just the absurdity of it. Some of the internet rumors that somehow Israel is behind the Charlie Kirk murder, and I don't believe it for 1 second, but I want you to make a statement. It's so absurd.
That's insane. That's insane.
Well, he's mentioned the Holocaust. Guess we can't prod the narrative any further, guys. Holocaust. So everybody's just stopped talking about anything. I mean, hey, he's the victim. It's absurd. It's just absurd. The Holocaust happened. You heard him. We're sick of this shit.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. That young man. On the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." forgive him. I forgive him because it was what Christ did and is what Charlie would do. The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love. Love for our enemies and love for those who persecute us.
Let's read this real quick. I thought this was very interesting. Listen to what Candace says. The strength it takes to stand on stage and say that you forgive a person who brought you so much hurt. Absolutely incredible, Erika. What a stunning example of the Christian faith. How weird is that? That Candace would say this on the heels of her spending literally the entire week questioning whether or not the young man actually did it, the man that Erika forgave. How wild is that? And I don't want to take from it, because shout out to Erika for toughing through probably what has to be the worst experience of her life. Shout out to her for sure. And God bless her and her family. I only wanted to point this out to show you, again, just the contrast between how Candace has handled this and how Erika has handled this. And let us also just remember that Erika is his wife. And let's look at how Erika handled this. Candace is a friend at best. And we don't need to elevate her to the exact same level, because she's not. So I do appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for liking the video and commenting down below what you think. What were your thoughts on the speeches? What did you think about the memorial? If you watched it, what were your thoughts? All that kind of good stuff. I really want to hear what your thoughts and feelings were about it. So until next time, everybody, let's do it again real soon. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.